The objective of this puzzle is to place a diagonal line in each cell. So in this case, there are 9 cells in total. And so each cell will just have one diagonal line, and that diagonal line is going to follow the numbers here. So the numbers show how many diagonals meet at this certain point. So say, for example, if this is a 2, that means 2 diagonal lines will meet at this point. If it's a 1, that means 1 diagonal line will meet at this point, and so on and so forth. And at the very end, when you draw all your diagonal lines, they should not form a loop. So I'm just going to go ahead and start placing my diagonal lines here. So starting off with this 2, I can see that, so there are 2 diagonal lines that meet here. So logically speaking, I can try to place a diagonal line here and a diagonal line here. Okay. So if I move this back, so it looks kind of like this. So now you have 2 diagonal lines connecting to this 2 right here. So if I draw 2 diagonal lines like this, that means this next 2 right here, since it already has 1 diagonal line connecting to this number right here, the only logical place to put my other diagonal line, based on what I've drawn so far, is right here. I'm going to go ahead and just do this here. So something like this. So now I have 2 diagonals, 2 diagonal lines connecting to this 2, and 1 diagonal line connecting to this 1. So there are no more diagonal lines that are going to be meeting at this point here. So same thing with this 2. So there's going to be 2 diagonal lines connecting to this point here, because this is the number 2. And so the only diagonal lines that I can draw that can fit here, that meet at this point, is drawing my diagonal lines like so. Right? So this is the only 2 places where I can put my diagonal lines, and it fits also this 1 right here. So the only 1 diagonal line is connecting to this 1. And so now there's 2 diagonal lines connecting to this 2. I see there's a 4 here. So that means there are going to be 4 lines connecting to this 4. And then finally, to fill in this last cell, there are 2 lines connecting to this 2, because this is the number 2 right here. And so the only logical place that I can put this line to meet this 2, and then there's 1 diagonal line connecting to this 1, is drawing it like this. And so now you see each cell has 1 diagonal line. They all fit the number here. So each diagonal line meets the criteria of these numbers here. So there's 2 diagonal lines here, 2 diagonal lines here, 1 diagonal line here, 1 diagonal line here, 2 diagonal lines right here, 4 diagonal lines right here, and 2 diagonal lines right here, 1 diagonal line right here. And in the end, all the lines are drawn, and there's no continuous loop that is formed when I draw these lines here. So that meets all the criteria of the puzzle, and that's how you play the game of tilts. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you and have a great day.